boxing fans here in London, it's a big one. I look behind you and there's names, big heavyweights, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Daniel Dubois and Jarrell Miller. There's some big names on this card. Dmitry Bivol, world champions on this card. First of all, Dmitry Salita, how are you, sir? How's life?
Life is good. It's always great to be in London for boxing. The culture for boxing here is absolutely incredible, second to none. And coming here for big fights, for big announcements is really special. And I'm very happy to be part of this absolutely epic, historic event. And when I walk into this kind of a pre-press conference room, just the aura overtakes you and feels big and feels special, as you can see. And this is how big-time boxing should be done. I'm very happy that so many different promoters are coming together to put on this historic night of boxing.
That's the first question I wanted to ask you. Promoters are getting together. I would never have thought Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren would be on the same card. They had 5 fighters on the same card, but it seems like Turkey Sheikh has pulled this off. He seems to have brought people together. Just talk to me how you think this has all come about from what you've heard amongst people.
Well, for boxing to grow and to go to the next level, I've always been saying this, we need to be inclusive, not exclusive. For the sport of boxing to grow, especially now going through its growing pains with HBO in the United States getting out of boxing and now Showtime getting out of boxing in December, it's very important that we come together and make the biggest and the best fights and engage the boxing fans and work together to make the best possible events. And it's fantastic that Saudi Arabia, Riyadh season is stepping in and making these fights happen. The heavyweight division is always special, and sports fans, not just boxing fans, regular folks, engage and are very interested when heavyweights fight and when they fight each other, when they fight the best. And on this card here, within each level of the heavyweight division, the best are fighting the best, and it's really special. And I really believe that it's going to rejuvenate the growth of boxing. The other important aspect is that there'll be a lot of storytelling, I'm sure, and the fact that it's happening in this interesting location in part of the world is also, adds a lot of flavor to the card. So this is just a fantastic event, and just looking around the room, seeing all the media is getting ready here. Behind the stage, this is going to be the biggest press conference of all time. So I'm very excited and very honored and grateful to be a part of it and to have fighters on the show.
Let's talk about this show. Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin. A lot of people have talked about AJ and his link up with Derek James, saying, listen, he's still sort of learning with Derek and getting through that phase. We know he's going to be with Ben Davison for this fight. And also there's Deontay Wilder and Joseph Parker, another great fight. Just talk to me about the two main events, if you want to call them. Good fights to be putting on at this stage, and we're hoping, at some point we get to see them two men fight in the ring as well.
Sure. So the main event is absolutely fantastic. It's a fight that I've been talking about and beating the drums for a long time. Actually, ever since Jarrell was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua at Madison Square Garden and he fell out, that's when we initially started the process. Then Otto was signed to me and had that fight with Tyson Fury, which was incredible. And obviously it made a lot of sense for Anthony Joshua to fight Otto Wallin, being that Anthony Joshua eventually wants to fight Tyson Fury. And I spoke with Eddie after the first Usyk fight, then after the second Usyk fight about Otto fighting Joshua, and it seemed close, then it fell apart, seemed close, then it fell apart. But I'm very happy that it's happening now, and it's a big test for Joshua. And Otto's coming off a great win versus Gassiev. He stayed busy during this period of time. Even though they weren't big fights, they were good fights, and he worked diligently worked on his craft in the gym and has gotten a lot better. And I believe it's a great fight, not an easy fight for both men, but something that'll be interesting for the fans to see.
Deontay Wilder, when Wilder's in the ring, we do expect fireworks, do expect excitement. This time he's in, obviously, with a very valid opponent in Joseph Parker. Wilder hasn't been in the ring for a long time. I think it was only a couple of rounds with Helenius. So it's going to be a tough test for Wilder for this one, right?
It is going to be a tough test. I follow Malik Scott on social media. I like him. He has a lot of flavor and a lot of personality. I don't know if anyone remembers the karate kickboxing era of movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme, but someone posted a picture yesterday of of Malik with a cigar on a plane, like I'm coming to London. It's kind of like the Kumite, where all these great fighters and all these great heavyweights from all over the world are coming to fight each other. So that's a great fight, a great test for Deontay, and believe a legitimate fight for both of these guys. And I understand that the plan is for both of them to fight each other, but it's not a given because both have very tough tests in front of them. And I do want to give a shout out and respect to Malik Scott because he's really done a great job in rejuvenating Deontay Wilder and making him a better boxer and making him have a second life again.
I do want to talk about Big Baby Miller just because he's entered the vicinity. There's a lot of controversy, as we know, with Big Baby Miller obviously failing drug tests and being on a ban. I think a lot of people were surprised to see him on this card, to be quite honest with you. Do you feel like, from knowing him in the past, that he just needs to box now, just get some wins, make sure he's clean, and shows that by doing regular testing, and then just fighting and hopefully getting back onto the scene?
Yes, I've been believing that Jarrell is one of the best heavyweights in the world for a long time. His personality, his skills, his physical strength, being from Brooklyn, New York, from Bronzeville, like Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, and a lot of great fighters, adds a lot of flavor and a lot of dimension to the division. And he's been very hungry. He obviously spent a lot of time outside the ring, thinking about what has happened and the opportunities that were lost. So I believe that he's very focused. I've seen him in the gym. He's working very hard, and his mind is in a good place. So this is one of the first big steps to making him part of the elite heavyweight picture, and him fighting Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, all the top guys. Usyk will be very interesting, but he has to win on December 23rd and start that journey. But I do believe that if Jarrell can live up to what I always believed he could live up to, he's going to be a big name, maybe the biggest name in the heavyweight division.
There's two questions before I do let you go. We are hopefully expecting Joshua and Wilder to collide paths in 2024. If that fight was to happen, how do you see that fight playing out? Put your fighter's hat on, somebody who's been in the ring, assess his fighters. How would that fight play out?
Well, so I have to see what they look like on December 23rd, but based on what I've seen so far, Deontay Wilder would have to be the favorite. I feel like Anthony Joshua looked a little bit better in his last fight. I was there for the fight with Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine was ringside and seeing the fight, and Anthony was a little bit hesitant. He started to gain confidence as the fight went along, and then in his last fight, I see that he's getting a bit of a swag back, and Otto is a very tough competitor and a very good fighter, and if he can pull off a win, an impressive one against Otto, and I believe that he'll get the confidence and the strength, the mental and the physical strength needed for Deontay Wilder. So that if that happens, it's a 50-50 fight. At this point, Deontay Wilder is the favorite, but if that happens, it's a tough fight. I also want to say Parker is no easy pickings. I think Parker has been in camp with Tyson Fury, trained by Andy Lee. He's very serious. He doesn't get too emotional. He lost to Joe Joyce, but Joe Joyce is a different style than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is a big puncher, but he's not physically strong like Joe Joyce. Not big, not a big clubbering guy. So I believe it's going to be an interesting fight and a big test for Deontay Wilder. Very great card, and much respect to the folks that put this together.
And the final one before I do let you go, tomorrow it seems that the announcement for Fury Usyk is going to happen. There's a lot of rumours happening online, but talk to me about that one. That's the big one. That's the one that everyone's wanted to see. All the belts on the line in the heavyweight division. We haven't seen that for a long time. In your eyes, Dmitry, how does that one play out?
So, in the sports world, sometimes the world stops and everybody, sports fans, boxing fans, regular folks, stop and take notice. And there's nothing like a boxing match. I'm sorry to say, even the World Cup in here they call it football, in the United States they call it soccer, does not have the excitement of a big fight. And I believe that this fight is that. I believe that this fight is going to draw that excitement and make the world stop and make everybody take notice. It's so charged with so many different elements in it. So I've been training with Tyson Fury myself since 2010, and we're good friends. He's trained by Sugar Hill Stewart, who I believe is one of the best trainers in the game. Added a lot of depth to his style. So I have to go with Tyson Fury as the favorite, but a great fight, and obviously something to watch and something to see. And I believe Tyson Fury's last performance adds more interest and gives Usyk, maybe the odds makers will tilt a little bit more towards Usyk, but I believe that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world and one of the best of all time.
Cool. Dmitry, always a pleasure seeing you. Always a pleasure seeing you on these shows. No doubt we'll be speaking soon once things move on, and probably in Riyadh as well.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for giving your time. Thank you very much for talking to pro boxing fans. Appreciate your time.
Thank
as
you. It
always.
was a pleasure.